you doing, Harry?
Wonderful on a Memorial weekend. How about yourself?
Good, good. Just got some ribs on the grill right now. I'm gonna have a little barbecue for some friends later today. So whenever I say I'm cooking, they come over.
I, know that they will have wonderful ribs that you make.
Yeah,
Are you still using your Traeger?
I am. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, I have a Weber, little Smoky Mountain, but I have to still learn how to use it.
All right.
I got to go back to my
Armin?
Good morning. Good morning,
Good morning.
Harry. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Carlos.
Happy Memorial weekend.
Yeah.
The day of remembrance, as well as the official launch of the barbecue season. Am I correct?
That's right.
How it works?
That's right. Harry, you've been busy. I love it.
I have been trying to get into the retirement groove.
That's great.
And it's an adjustment, I can tell you that. The good news is nobody's pestering me for project schedules, invoices, purchase orders.
Oh, it's got to be awesome. I can't wait for that day.
Tracking lost equipment across America, data center outages, and all I have to worry is that my brisket is burning or my ribs are, overdone.
Oh, that's fantastic. Did you even plan on this? Like you say 5 years ago, I have to have a plan for when I retire, or did you just not have a blueprint yet until like the end of retirement?
I think COVID kind of, got me thing, right? Because I guess I was so like, like a frog in cold water that you boil. I worked in downtown LA for over 30 years. And I guess, it's sort of like, you get so used to the numbness of the commute, like 3 hours round trip every day.
Yeah.
That you don't really realize how much of your life you're losing by doing this crazy event every day, going to work. And the COVID, when I, was at home teleworking, I realized that my commute is from my bedroom down to my office. And you're so much more productive and how much more time you have. So I think that for me, I like many millions of people out there probably realize that there is work, right? There is also time for yourself. And I realize that as each day goes by, at least I'm closer towards the end than I am towards the beginning.
Right.
And there's just so much places to go and so many things to see. And the wonderful world of barbecue is open for some great adventures.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've moved my entire staff remote. We've just, because of the amount of time spent in commute compared to the amount of time spent at home with some balance, it's priceless. You get the investment, the returns on that investment are huge.
Yes. And I always tell people that all you need to do is Google the actuarial table to find out for yourself, right? What is your average life expectancy? So let's say if you are Asian male, Caucasian female, you just Google that and then it'll tell you for your particular state and area, what is the average life expectancy? And then you tell yourself, okay, I have like X number of years left. What do I do with the X number of years? And that really frames and focuses your entire perspective that you really do not want to sweat the small stuff anymore. And once you know that, you can say, okay, if I have like X number of years, let's say I have 20 years left, what do I do with the 20 years? Do I still want to get on the freeway in Los Angeles and fight the traffic? Or, I can live with less money and continue to have adventures and see the world and do all the things you want to do. Cook that brisket, cook that perfect rib, and have the ability to do that.
Yeah. I can't believe you commuted from Diamond Bar to downtown. I cut 90 minutes of commute out of my day. I'm thinking the last day, how much would I pay to have 90 minutes more?
Yes,
Right? And that's daily.
And you once you
With
get
my
used to doing
family.
something every day, you wake up at 4:30 a.m. and then you get on the thing, you go to your band pool and you get to work, and you're just so used to that routine. You show up at your desk at 6:30 and then you work until 4 or 5 o'clock, and then you get on another 2-3 hour commute. You come home and then you just reach home at around 7 o'clock and you find yourself, why am I tired?
I don't know how you did it. All that commute and then come home and then smoke a brisket overnight. You're like a heroic.
And packing and making rubs and injections and trying to compete, preparing for a competition starting on Monday. I usually get Monday off. So Tuesday will be, I start to make injections, rubs, and I buy meats on Wednesday. I trim my breaded chicken on Thursdays, getting the brisket trim. And then Friday morning, get on the road. It's my Friday off because I have every other Friday off. And then we drive, sometimes drive to Kansas City, 36 hours. It's insanity.
That is insanity. Wow.
So now I just find friends around the country. I just show up at their home or their event site, and I just wash their dishes for them, and I get a little bit of my fix done by cooking. I'm going to be airing a video soon of me cooking with CJ. So CJ is a very well-known pitmaster in southern Texas. I was actually in the Uvalde area, which is so much tragedy in America today. I was in the Uvalde area in San Brunsville, San Antonio. I went to cook with my friend CJ. I made him a fish head parking lot curry. And that was so much fun. And then I helped him on his contest, and then he ended up winning the RGC, in the contest. So it was a lot of fun. So those videos are coming out, and I'm going to try to kind of showcase the barbecue legends of America. So I'll be coming to my Patreon's homes also, and cooking with you guys, and then showcasing your life, because I find it's so much more interesting to learn about people's lives and what people do, and the barbecue journey and the barbecue love journey that they have been taking. And now that with COVID's a little bit better, I don't feel so bad traveling now, because hopefully, things will calm down and we don't get another crazy ass variant that will, slow everybody down again.
Right. So you just got to be careful about the monkeypox now.
Yeah. I mean, what's the deal with that, man? It's like
that's something. They're always coming up with something.
I don't know if this is common or this is something that the press will sensationalize, but I heard that monkeypox is always around us, right? It's not, as prevalent. I guess now they're having some kind of a surge in the incidences.
Yeah. Yeah, another vaccine.
Another vaccine, yeah. Oh, I was going to acknowledge a few other people. I joined Marco, and then there's Tom, and somebody joined by iPhone. So I just want to say hi to you guys for joining the call here.
How's it going, Harry?
Good morning. Welcome, Marco.
Good morning, Harry.
Hey, good morning, Tom. How are you?
Went through my spice closet this morning. Got rid of everything that was really expired. Consolidated stuff down. A lot more room in there now.
Wonderful. Yeah. I mean, pitmaster, it's like, some people collect shoes, right? Some pitmasters collect sauces and rubs. I've been working to try to, create new products, because when I was on a comp circuit, I would cook on a lot of different combinations of products that I made. If you guys had a chance to watch the video, I did some, new products that I'm working on that will be hitting the market soon. And I'm trying to try to use my Patreons to kind of try them out and see if you guys like them. Because I made 3 fruit rubs and I made 3 hot rubs. So I have a mango, habanero, chipotle, raspberry out there because I like spicy. And when I sell my rubs, a lot of times you can't make it spicy because people don't like spicy. At least in California, on the West Coast, we tend to enjoy spicy food.
Yeah.
Because if I eat something, there's no spice in it, I find it really bland. I have to reach out for my tapatio or my sriracha and squirt some on it, And I don't think anybody is doing what do you call spicy rubs like a mango habanero, doing like a chipotle raspberry. I have one that I really like. It's like a jalapeno apple. So I took jalapeno flakes, jalapeno powder,
Really?
and then mix it with apple powder, and then I mix it into my rub. And then I really like the combination. So I'm going to try to see if people, might want to try that combination in a commercial rub and see what happens.
That sounds good.
I was going to send you guys some sketches also that I had my artist draw for those kinds of products. And maybe I'll send it out to my Patreons, and you guys can chime in on whether you like the design, you don't like the design. Because I know the design is always a very touchy thing, right?
Right.
One design may look good to one person, but the other person gets offended because, it hurts them culturally or traditionally, or, hurts their tribe. So label design is a very, very difficult process. I have people scold me and say, "Why did you have the bull slapping the steak?"
Oh my God.
I don't know. It's a steak rub. So I have a character of a bull cartoon slapping the steak, and I'm slap your daddy. So
Yeah.
that's how my brain thinks. I have a very simple brain, but people got offended. That means I'm promoting violence.
That's ridiculous.
So no shortage of critics out there.
Yeah. I used so speaking of rubs, I used the Jamaican jerk rub, and I made a salmon last night. It came out really good.
Yeah, it's spicy, right? It's got like
Yeah.
Scotch bonnets in it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's got that kind of like what I call tastes like clove, right? Is it all
Yes.
allspice? The allspice tastes like cloves.
Yes. Allspice.
It's like a clove anise, cinnamon type of a flavor,
Mhm.
and then you got a heat from the Scotch bonnet. And
Yeah.
so I like stuff like that. So I guess the idea I had was like a chipotle raspberry or mango habanero, same idea, right? Get some
Yeah.
habanero powder, mix in some mango powder, and then add it to a regular barbecue rub. And I tried it out on my ribs, and wow, I thought, that's great flavor.
Oh, nice.
We'll do
Try
some
that out.
jerk. Yeah, give me an idea. I need to do like a Caribbean seasoning.
Yeah.
I make some jerk chicken, seasoning, and that would be. I don't know. Have you ever thought of trying that on a competition circuit?
Not yet. I don't think I could. Not yet. But you know what? I was looking at a marinade, a Jamaican jerk rub marinade. I made some chicken with it. That came out really good, but a little too spicy. For me, it's great, but for the common person doesn't like a lot of spice, it was too much for them.
Yeah, I'm always after any kind of ultimate wing recipe. So if any of you guys have an idea for wing recipes, we should share them on Patreon, because I just came from Memphis in May. I was on the Willingham team, and we had to cook 11 entries,
Wow.
which is a lot. I mean, so he had a lot of people he invited to be on his team. I was lucky to be on them. So I was on the Willingham team in Memphis in May. There were 11 entries. So there was like turkey, there was like beans, there was, a whole bunch of stuff, you had to make. And then one of the entries was the poultry, and then one was the wings. So I think the pitmaster who came on the team, he cooked the wings, but I think he cooked a very like a normal wing. He just smoked it and then he fried it. So I think you need to up your game if you're cooking something like a Memphis in May World Championship. You gotta like make your wings really, really special. So if you guys, have any ideas on wings, I'd be happy to share, and I can test cook it, because probably next year, if I'm lucky, I might get invited back to cook on the team. And I told myself, we have 11 categories. We should kind of put our heads together and think ahead, because we kind of got there, right? And then, we try to like think on the spot. That's really not the proper way to compete. You gotta like practice and rehearse at home first.
Right.
So, you always have to make sure that you get your recipes tweaked and fine tuned before you actually take it out on the contest.
I usually brine my chicken wings. I'll usually brine them in, I know it's weird, but it's got to be Blue Moon beer. So I use Blue Moon beer. I use the chili flakes and ground coarse pepper. And I just, put them in there overnight. And then the next day I wrap them in bacon and then smoke them.
Oh, so you have bacon wrapped smoked chicken wings.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, that does sound
Awesome.
good.
Yeah. Because the bacon keeps them so moist, so you don't have to worry about them getting dry.
So you cook them over like 400 degrees?
Yes. So they're done in about 30, 40 minutes. You just flip them one time.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're all getting ready for Memorial, right, tomorrow. So you guys, I think that's a great idea to do some bacon wrapped chicken wings. I never thought of that. Now, the chicken wings are raw before you wrap them, or they're
Yes.
cooked before you wrap them?
No, they're raw. So I pat them dry. The next, when they're done brining, and then I'll put some rub on them, a little bit of rub, not too much, and then I wrap them in bacon, and then I throw some rub on the bacon, and then I throw them on the smoker.
Oh, okay. That's a great tip.
Yeah. So everybody likes, especially when I go tailgating. That's what I usually do for tailgating.
Ah,
Yeah.
so you have to make a lot of them. It's just a lot of work, right?
No, not really. I think because I have it down, it's just get the right beer. I've tried other beers, and for some reason, I think Blue Moon has a little bit of that orange flavor to it.
Oh,
That Belgian white, but it's got a like orange flavor.
Yeah.
So I think that does the trick.
so you have to wrap like 300 pieces.
Well, I don't usually do that many. I usually do about 50. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Yeah, I just had a class yesterday, so we were wrapping bacon left and right. I had a couple of birthdays in class, so we did a pitmaster birthday cake, which is basically like a Jimmy Dean cake, stuffed with cream cheese and more cheese and bacon, and then draped with a bacon weave. And instead of using a normal birthday candle, I used the Jealous Devil boom starter, so it's a fire starter.
Oh,
The fire starter shoots a flame about 6 or 8 inches high. So I think I surprised my students because I had the birthday people like the boom fire starter, and I think they thought it would kind of smolder, but it shot up to be about a 6-foot flame. So,
was it a fatty?
yeah, just a regular fatty, and shape it like a cake, right? Kind of like a cylinder cake. And then you just make a bacon weave and just drape it on top. So it looks like it's covered with things. So a pitmaster's birthday cake has no flour in it. It's made up of sausage and meat. And I put some scrambled eggs in there because it was a morning class. So we had the scrambled eggs, we had the bacon, we had the sausage, match made in heaven.
Sounds great.
Harry, have you ever had anybody have a birthday as your class? Like, hey, I want to have my birthday as Harry's class, and just invite friends over, pay for it, and then have you teach all of them barbecue.
I actually I have a booking in the coming weeks. I think August. Somebody booked the entire class. He wanted to have a birthday party for himself.
How cool!
And 14 of his family.
That's
so
awesome.
I had to block that date for him because he wants to bring his entire family, and he was kind of use my class and my backyard as a venue to bring all his family from around the country to celebrate his I think his 55 or 60 birthday. So the answer is yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, people do that, and people have also invited me to their homes to cook for them. I've been invited to people's homes, and they just want somebody to cook a special meal for them. So always happy to oblige, spread some love.
All right, I'll be texting you, Harry.
Yeah, I had a guy from one of the patrons. I don't know if you can join the call, but one of the patrons that I have, his name is Grayson. He's from South Carolina. He was in my class yesterday. He flew all the way in to, because he wanted to compete and he wanted to learn. And he said that he's seen all my videos, but he says that the experience cooking with me side by side is very, very different. So he made the trip from South Carolina, Greenville, to my backyard yesterday. And I hope he had a fabulous time. And we cooked every animal that I could find. So you have seen my class. It's pretty intense. We go through like 25 items in 6 hours. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's pretty exhausting, but I think that my students come to class and they realize, hey, we've been standing since about 7:30 cooking on our feet until about 1:30. So I'm a firm believer that when you learn, you can learn by writing, you can learn by watching, you can learn by listening, right? But the most powerful way to learn is by doing. So in my class, I make everybody do everything. So you inject the meat, you put the rub on, you make the rub, you make the sauce, you do the wrapping, you put the brown sugar on. You basically have to do everything.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thanks for the recipe, man, Carlos. Yeah.
You're welcome.
So blue moon, chili flakes, cracked black pepper, right? Now, where does the salt come from then?
The rub.
Oh, okay. So you put the
So
rub on it.
Yeah, like your chicken, slap your daddy rub that you use. I use
So
that
after you marinate, then you put the rub on, and then you wrap.
Yeah, pat it dry. Pat down the chicken wings dry, and then I put the rub on.
Okay, I definitely need to try that because tomorrow I was going to shoot a YouTube video. I got asked by my Patreons to make a cannonball. You guys heard of those cannonballs?
Hmm.
It's a cannonball cabbage and a cannonball onion.
Oh wow.
So what you do is you take a whole cabbage, right? And then you core out the inside, and then you stuff it with whatever you like, sausage or links or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then you wrap the entire ball into like a cannonball with bacon. And then you cook it until the whole thing kind of melts together. And then the cannonball can be done on what do you call it, cabbage. The cannonball can also be done on a big onion.
Okay.
So that's kind of like kind of like a muse item that you can use to impress your friends and family when you invite them over and they're waiting for the brisket to cook, right? You serve them these cannonballs of bacon stuff with all the goodness that you like. That's a great idea. Maybe I'll do that. I'm going to Germany in a couple of weeks here to headline the one in Cologne. So the nice folks in Germany somehow found me on the internet. They reached out to me and they invited me to help host the world's largest barbecue event in Cologne, Germany.
Wow.
To give you an idea how big it is, right? It is about 6 soccer stadiums.
What?
So if you imagine how big a soccer field is, just the barbecue area alone in the outdoor show in Cologne is about, I think 6 to 8 soccer stadium in size of barbecue vendors.
Wow.
This is
They have a
American
stage out there
barbecue
called
or
Burnout
all
Kitchen.
kinds of barbecue? This is American barbecue?
They're crazy about barbecue. European people are not only crazy about barbecue, they have a lot of like what I call gadgets. They love gadgets.
Yep.
No, like offset smoker. They have all the electronics and all the actuators and all the funky stuff. They just love the technology of barbecue. And apparently it's the world's largest barbecue show. So they have a stage deck. We call it the burnout stage. So they have book me for 2 days. So I'm going to go there and, cook American barbecue. So they asked me, what is American barbecue? I said, well, my first thing that comes to mind, I got to cook you a Texas brisket. I got to cook you some Memphis ribs, some California tri-tip, maybe do some Carolina hog, because if you have a hog in Germany, I'd be happy to cook a hog on stage. So I'm going to have to start planning for the event. I booked my airline tickets already, so I'm going to fly to Cologne. And they are nice people. They even say that, we'll give you a tour of Germany. So I said, oh, wow, okay, man, sign me up.
That's awesome.
So it'll be my first trip as an instructor to Germany. I used to fly 747. So we used to fly to Frankfurt. I used to do the Singapore, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Frankfurt, Amsterdam, and London run. So that was maybe about a 10-day run to go up and down that flight. So now, 40 years later, I get to go back to Germany and be a pitmaster, I guess. You guys have any good German sayings or German news items I should make? Because I should be there and try to pay homage to the local people, right? Do some German style. I don't know. What do you do in Germany on a barbecue that would be homage to them?
They're big into sausage, aren't they?
A schnitzel, I don't know.
Yes, sausage.
Yeah, sausage. I guess that's where sausages are popular, right? They have a whole repertoire of sausages, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I can have my buddy Bill Dumas make me a commemorative Cologne sausage. Now, talking about sausage, Bill Dumas, my good friend, the sausage sensei from Texas, he is going to come and teach in my backyard.
Really?
So I'll be posting the information shortly. I think the class will absolutely sell out, so I will need to tell my Patreon in case you guys want to sign up for that class. He's been trying to teach a class on the West Coast for many years because he's got a huge request from people on the West Coast who want to learn how to make sausage. Right. So he mentioned that to me, and I said, I have a backyard and I teach classes here a couple of times a month, once a month. On the days I'm not teaching, you're more than welcome to come here and teach in my backyard. And I told him I always wanted an excuse to buy sausage equipment.
Yeah.
Because, they are very bulky. They're quite expensive, right? They're a couple of $1,000s. And then for me as one person, I couldn't justify buying the 20-pound sausage stuffer. But if you are teaching a class, I'm forced to go and buy equipment.
Yeah.
And that way I'll be able to, learn how to make sausages, because I have one of those cheap Amazon sausage makers, and those are pretty much like hopeless. You can't really, do much with it. But I thought it's going to be super fun to make some custom sausages.
Nice. Very cool.
But Harry, as far as rubs go, have you ever tried ranch? You know, in the powdered ranch. I was watching a show. Michael Simon was cooking at home, and he dusted ribs with ranch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. Is it? I mean, it's got a lot of the components of it. I don't know. Is there something you would add to it, or just
Yeah,
straight?
you can put ranch dressing on your ribs. I'm on
like
your meat.
the powder.
The powder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's many different powders you can put on your thing. You can, I don't know if you guys realize, you can buy soy sauce powder.
Really?
You can buy soy sauce powder. Soy sauce powder really tastes really good on ribs. So I've been making all these different products at home, and I have like a lot of crazy products. You can buy, powdered mirepoix. You know what mirepoix is? Mirepoix is the celery, onion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can sprinkle that on your meat. I mean, I used to use my boulard. My boulard has powdered Worcestershire. So all I did was I bought powdered Worcestershire. So you can experiment using powdered products. You can buy powdered sriracha also.
Wow.
So you can sprinkle sriracha on your ribs. Ranch dressing, obviously, you can buy that. Obviously, you guys know that my chicken rub has orange tang in it. So
Yeah.
So ranch dressing is definitely something you can do. If you like ranch flavors, I tried it on ribs, and yeah, I'm kind of like mixed about that. I don't know if I like ranched ribs, but I did try to use the ranch dressing on ribs, and I think if you love ranch, I think it'll work.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it would be terrible. It'd be worth a shot to try it out. Yeah, I mean,
the other thing, if you like ranch, then you like what I call mayo smothered ribs. Have you ever tried to make mayo smothered ribs?
No,
just give it a try. I've tried to cook Miracle Whip ribs. If you've not tried it, I recommend you try it. I'm a pretty crazy guy. I pretty much anything you can put on meat, I probably try to do it. From what do you call I always like to go to what's that market? Northgate. Is it Northgate Market? That's my favorite place. I feel like a kid in a candy store when I go to Northgate, because I go buy all this funky stuff, right? And I go home and I slap it on my meats and cook it. What is that Mexican red sauce in the bottle that you pour onto mango? What is that called again? I forgot.
Oh, tahini.
Yeah, no, not tahini. The one that it's a red sauce you pour on like your cut mango. Is this like a Mexican style?
Chamoy.
Chamoy. Yeah. If you not try chamoy, put chamoy on your rib, man. It's good.
I'm gonna try that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I put tahini. I made my tahini brisket. I thought it was very good.
Now that's without the rub. You just
use it. Sprinkle it. On your meat and cook it. It's fantastic. I made like my own birria brisket also.
Uh-huh.
I bought all the different chili like guajillo, puya, and then I kind of brined it and then smothered it on the meat and cooked it. It's fantastic. So make a birria brisket. I always tell people I like to buy the masa from like Northgate, and I make the tamales. So I have a lot of leftover meat. Like right now, after this call, I got to go and shred all the meat from the class yesterday, so I can pack it up and kind of donate it. A lot of times I take my brisket, my butts, and the boneless chicken, and I make it into a pile and mix it with some chili and then spices. And I make my own tamales because I find making tamales very therapeutic. I don't know why. I just enjoy making tamales, and it's nice that I can create something different from all the meats that I have.
Right.
And tamales are actually easy to make, and then what I like is they freeze really well.
Yeah.
So I make a batch of them, and then I freeze them, and I give them away.
Yeah, I made that brisket tamales that recipe that you came up with. They came out really good. My girlfriend actually made all the sauces from scratch, so they came out amazing.
Yeah, and if you're lazy like me, a lot of times I cheat, right? I just buy the sauce from the Northgate, the tub of salsa and sauce. I just go home and I cook it, and I add a little bit more spices to it, add a little bit of sugar to it, and then kind of brown sugar, kind of mellow out the spice a little bit, and I just pour it onto my barbecue meat, and I have my meat base. And I use it to make tamales. I use it to make egg roll. Egg rolls, you just buy the egg roll from Walmart.
Uh-huh.
And then you roll your little egg rolls and you fry it, man. The crowd goes crazy when I make brisket egg roll. They, wow, what is that, man?
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I've taken the same mixture of the chili and the cooked barbecue, and I made like a sushi. So all I did is I cooked rice in a rice pot.
Uh-huh.
I mix in some sugar, salt, and vinegar in the rice to make sushi rice. That's sushi rice, right? 3 ingredients. So vinegar, sugar, and salt. That's it. You just make a slurry and then pour it onto your rice that you cook, and then you kind of mix it up, and then you taste the rice until it reaches the sushiness you like. You know, the vinegariness. And all you need to do is you take that rice and you lay it on the bottom of a lasagna pan, right? And then you layer your any meat on top with the chili and everything. And then I like to use the little pieces of seaweed that you buy in the store, kind of small pieces of seaweed, and then I lay it on top. And I tell my guests, you know, go ahead and get a little scooper and then scoop it and put it on a piece of seaweed, and you have a little bit of sushi. And it's super simple. And it allows you to repurpose all your leftovers from cooking barbecue. Doesn't matter if you're pork, beef, chicken, you can always shred it, even like ribs, or you can kind of shred all the ribs, take out all the bones, kind of chop up the ribs to make like kind of chopped pork, and use that base to make egg rolls, to make pork sushi, you know, to make what do you call it, tamales. The sky's the limit. You just have your imagination. Repurpose all the food.
That's a great idea. I did that barbecue, the backyard barbecue, a couple of weeks ago, last month, and I got grand champion on that, Harry.
Congratulations! Wonderful.
Awesome.
What was it? A 3-item or 4-item?
We had brisket, chicken, ribs, and we had pork, and we had tri-tip.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, especially for a backyard. But it was great. We had a great time. So next year we already.
This was at a venue, or this is somebody's home?
No, this was at a venue. We actually one of the guys let us use his business in Ontario, like an industrial park, and we had 6 teams out there. Next year, I think we're gonna have 12.
Wow.
A lot of people found out about it, so now they want to participate next year. Some other police departments.
So the what judging was in a box, or how did it work?
It was in a box. Yeah, it was. I actually had I forgot his name, but we had 12. No, we had 10 or 12 judges. Certified judges came out.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, let me know the next time you will have one. You know, I'll see if I can swing by and add the calendar and hang out and what do you call help you cook or help you judge. Either way works.
And it's great because it's local. It's right here in Ontario, buddy.
Yeah, it's close to me. I'm in Diamond Bar, so that's probably 30 minutes away near the airport.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you should introduce what do you call one of those anything category, and you can specify. Well, one of the funnest things I ever did at the contest is when they did the 7-Eleven challenge. So you're supposed to go to 7-Eleven, spend not more than $20, and show the receipt. And you are supposed to turn in the food that you cook from 7-Eleven in a styrofoam box.
Oh wow!
And I thought that to me was more fun than cooking briskets and chicken, because it's a challenge to find something you can cook in 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
And you can't spend more than $20. So I ended up making green eggs and spam. So that was a lot of fun to do.
Oh, nice. Hey, Harry, I want to start doing, I know you have your classes, but I want to do a class just for some clients of mine. So I want to teach them maybe ribs and then tri-tip, because that's what everybody's always asking me about. So I want to do it probably here in my house. So I'm trying to get some ideas of how you do it. You usually have a lot of the food that's already cooked. So by noon, food's ready, right? Like movie magic. I don't want to start prepping it, putting it in the smoker and have to wait 5 hours to eat it.
Yeah. You just do 2 sets. I learned my inspiration from Julia Child. Okay. So I used to be very tickled with her when she made the turkey, right? When she prepared the raw turkey, voila, the cooked turkey is ready. And that always blew me away. Wow, how did she do that? She just had 2 turkeys. So for ribs, in my class that I teach, I put my ribs on at 7:30. And my students usually, we work on a raw rib. And then by about 10 o'clock, the ribs are ready for wrapping. So they are able to wrap the ribs. Right. So if you cook 2 sets. So how many students do you have?
I think I'm going to have 12.
12. Okay. So 12, what you would do is you probably need to cook maybe about, I don't know, something like maybe 2. I would do minimum of 3 spare ribs and 3 baby backs.
Okay.
And depending on, are they Marines or are they regular people who eat a lot?
No, They're just maybe a couple Marines, but it's probably going to be some of my clients, real estate agents, people that follow me on Facebook. They always ask me, so I'm going to open it up.
Yeah, I mean the nice thing is if you want to do demos, you can, like me. I have two sets. I have a raw set and a cook set. So the class actually works on the raw set while the cook set is cooking. That way there's no lag. The only downside is that then you end up using a lot of product, a lot of meat. But then I end up giving it away. So there's no problem on my side to do that.
Right.
So you can do that. So you can do for the 12 people, I recommend you do maybe 3 and 3.
Okay.
3 and 3. What I'm saying, I'm going back up. It won't work because the spare rib comes in packs of 2. So in packs of 2, you need to cook 3 and then save 1 for the demo. So you can show them how to trim a spare rib into a St. Louis rib.
Okay. I know the Costco ones that I get have packs of 3.
Batches of 3 ribs?
Yes.
No, the baby backs are 3, but the spare ribs are 2, I think.
The spare ribs are 3.
3, okay, cool. Yeah. So if you have more ribs, then you can have them demo. Are you going to have them cut the ribs or are you going to cut it?
I'm going to show them and then have them do it as well.
Okay, so they're going to trim a spare rib into a St. Louis.
Yes.
Oh, wow. So if you have 12 people, you need a lot of ribs.
I know. That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, because it's really kind of expensive, right? To have 12 sets of ribs for 12 people.
Yeah. But what I was
in my class, what I do is I have my students basically pull the membrane. And the way I do that is I have a class of 14. I cut the ribs into 3 pieces. So one rib has 3 pieces. So with about 4 ribs, I have about 12 to 14 pieces. So everybody gets to pull the membrane on the smaller piece, maybe 3 bones. And then they are able to put the rub on their individual piece. So everybody gets a chance to pull membrane. Everybody gets a chance to season. But in terms of showing the St. Louis trimming, I will show 1 St. Louis trim and explain to them the 6 things you need to do to make a spare rib into a St. Louis.
Okay.
That way, 1 demo, but everybody pulls membrane, everybody seasons the rib.
Okay.
And everybody gets a 3-bone rib. So if you do the math, right, 3 bones, a normal rib has about 12 to 13 bones.
Right.
So if you do the math, 1 rack will serve about 4 students.
Right.
And that way, if you have 12 students, you need about 4 raw racks for them to pull membrane and to season.
Okay.
And then you cook it after class, when they're done, because the raw rib that you put in at 7:30 should be ready by about 10 o'clock for them to do the boiling phase.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And if everything goes well, by about noon, you can serve lunch.
Okay, very good. I was thinking of all the other stuff that we're going to put in the smoker. A lot of them are probably going to want to stay and have drinks after. So then just give it to them to go.
Yeah, you can cook, like I say, throw every piece of protein at them. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Hey, I have a question on charcoal.
Anybody has any burning barbecue questions that you guys get ready? Be happy to chime in.
I have 2 questions. One is charcoal. I love Jealous Devil charcoal. Just a higher quality charcoal it's no brainer. How do you make your charcoal last over a long period of time if you were going to have barbecuing like all day off and on? Do you just let the charcoal burn out? You just put a new batch, or do you keep it alive by just kind of feeding it little by little over time? I know it's a waste of charcoal, but certainly that ramp up time of lighting charcoal is reduced. How do you optimize
are you cooking the whole day, or you're cooking in
all day off and on, like a pool party, or whatever, like off and on all day, do you just let it burn out and then fire it,
A simple solution is, I like to use a Jealous Devil Max briquettes. They're like very large briquettes.
Yeah, they're great. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I bet you that my pit is still hot from yesterday, right? It's now Sunday morning. So what happened is, I think my crew made a mistake yesterday because I told them to top up the Weber Smokey Mountain. So I guess I had a new crew member. He filled it up yesterday at the end of my class. Okay.
Wow.
So it's still burning today. So to answer your question, easy question, get yourself some Jealous Devil Max. What city are you in?
I'm in Glendale, so
Glendale.
I have Ace
Glendale,
Hardware.
I think that they're selling that in. Let me think for a second. Where are they selling Jealous Devil?
There's an Ace Hardware that has locally.
Okay.
Ace Hardware has some, yeah, and that's where I get your rubs too. So they have them.
The Home Depot is going to start carrying Jealous Devil, so that's good news.
Oh, nice.
So
wow,
I
that's
think that you
great.
guys are aware. I did the demo for Jealous Devil at the Mandalay Bay. That was a mega event because we worked our ass off because about 2,000 or 3,000 buyers from Home Depot were having a private event at the Mandalay Bay, closed, only open to Home Depot buyers. And the CEO was coming, and Jealous Devil was trying to land a $2,000 store deal. So I was there, and I cooked my ass off for 2 days to help them land the 2,000 store deal because Home Depot wanted Jealous Devil to cook a hog on Home Depot cinder block. So Jealous Devil didn't know how to do it. So they reached out to me and said, Harry, we have a little conundrum here. Can you help us score a big deal with Home Depot? And I said, what do you want me to do? He said, they want us to cook a hog using Jealous Devil charcoal at the demo. And the demo only had 4 companies. So of all the thousands of companies Home Depot could have invited, they only invited 4 companies. And Jealous Devil was one of them. So that actually, privately, I'll just tell my patrons, they pissed off the entire barbecue community because all the other major players didn't get invited. They say, how come this upstart company called Jealous Devil got invited to showcase it to 2,000 Home Depot buyers when all of other companies were excluded? So I think I just confidentially, so Jealous Devil spent probably $100,000 just to host the 3-day event.
Wow.
The actual, I don't know if you saw my video, but you saw some of the beautiful stage and stuff that they built. All that was custom built just for one event. So that little display with my product on it on the shelf, that cost $35,000 to build that display.
Wow.
And then had to break it down into a container, ship it out to Las Vegas, had to hire a local crew to build the entire demo booth. Because all the companies in America are all there. Because that is the huge deal where you land a 2,000 store deal.
Yeah.
So I have good news to report. So all that effort I did on the whole hog, I served it to the CEO and I served it to the head of the barbecue division in Home Depot. They loved it so much, they signed up Home Depot. So Home Depot got an initial prototype order of 400 stores will carry Jealous Devil charcoal.
Wow, that's awesome.
So I'm hoping that my goodwill to Jealous Devil will pay off because, I private label the love rub to Jealous Devil. So I told the CEO of Jealous Devil, I'm helping you guys out. I'm offering you, help to impress Home Depot. So when you start selling charcoal, please, pretty please, put my little love rub on top. So when you go to Home Depot and you see that big pallet of charcoal in the outdoor section, right? Above it is the area is called a belly beam. So in the industry language, that's called a belly beam. The belly beam is highly sought after. It's very hard to get into the belly beam of Home Depot. Because if you notice, next time you go to Home Depot, what height is the belly beam? It's at your eyesight.
Right.
So when you walk down Home Depot, right, and you turn look at all the different products, what catches your eye is called the belly beam, B-E-L-L-Y, like belly, like a pot belly, belly beam. So the key in merchandising I learned is that you want to get your product into the belly beam in stores like Lowe's and Home Depot. So I'm just hoping that they will start to carry the love product when they carry the Jealous Devil charcoal.
Okay, yeah. Well,
so if you guys are, at your Home Depot and you see a store manager, you should ask, hey, this guy called Harry. Can you make sure that, some of his products end up on the shelf?
That's awesome.
I certainly hope that Home Depot here or by me carries it. It sure would be nice to be able to pick up the pellets for the pellet grill at a reasonable price.
I believe I bought some pellets also. I think Costco sells pellets now, right? And then Sam sells pellets also.
Yeah, but they sell the Jealous Devil pellets?
No.
The Jealous Devil, I think the Jealous Devil pellets are probably, I don't know what they are made of, but I would suspect they may be generic. I'm not sure.
Amazon.
I think that a lot of the pellet people, private label, right? I mean, there are a few very big pellet makers in America, and I believe that a lot of companies, they private label the pellets that are made by some of the biggest producers in America. I think, maybe I'm wrong, I think there's a company called Lumberjack. Is it? There are a few companies out there. If you're in that pellet business, there are a few companies that make it. So I don't know if there's a lot of differentiation in pellets. I've used a lot of pellets from different brands, and my opinion is that I don't see a strong differentiator. I like the GMG Gold Blend, and I like the Jacks from Jealous Devil, but I honestly don't know who makes them.
Yeah, I caught some Knotty Wood pellets on sale at Lowe's. They were like $3 off a bag with free shipping. Ship me 3 bags. So I'm going to try that this weekend. We're doing a pork butt tomorrow, and I'll load the EX6 up with that.
Wonderful. I'm not really a pellet expert, but I think that people who use pellet, they swear by them, and they swear that they can get different flavor profiles using the different pellets. On my one, I've had very good results with just 2 pellets, and I haven't experimented a lot with pellets.
Yeah, I found the cheaper ones are not necessarily the best. There's a lot of debris in the bag, dust and stuff. I've started sifting my pellets before I put them in the hopper. Wow. And I just use like a cat scoop, sift them and put them into the hopper. It takes a little bit longer, but all that dust doesn't get in there. And I had a problem with the EX6 where it was not even a year old yet, and I had to replace the auger and the chute. And they couldn't really give me a reason why, and I think it might have been because of the amount of dust that goes into that thing.
I can tell you why, because I was part of the R&D team that tried to figure out what went wrong. So when my EX6 started to not work properly, they sent me, like you say, the replacement kit, right? The chute and the auger. So because I have an engineering background, when I replaced my chute and the auger, I realized that on my EX6, I bought generation 1, it had a sheet metal riveted chute. And the fabricators who built the sheet metal fabricated chute mechanism, they put the rivets on the wrong side. So you know how in rivets, right, there's a smooth side, there's a bumpy side, there's a protrusion. The way you should rivet it is on the inside of the chute where the pellets are flowing. You cannot have the stub on that side. You got to have the rounded edge on that side.
Yeah, and
that was one of the problems.
This was a Generation 2 grill.
So you bought a Generation 2, and they still had to ship you a new auger and a chute?
Yeah, and to Weber's credit, it took us about a month to solve the problem. You have to do what what they want you to do, what the manufacturer wants you to do. And it took me about a month to solve the problem, but it was well worth it. I have not had a problem since. The grill would go up to about 300 degrees, drop down to 200, go up to 300, drop down to 200, and just keep this cycle up. No matter what I had the temperature set on.
Did you have any grease fire problems?
No, I've been, for the most part, I've used a drip tray underneath the meats, and that seems to solve the problem. It makes cleanup really easy too. And I try to clean it up now after every 5 cooks. I usually do the grates after every cook, but the actual in the body after about every 5 cooks, I scrape it down.
Yeah, the EX6 is still my favorite pit, but it's kind of like a British sports car. When you turn on the headlights, the wipers don't work, and it's got its own idiosyncrasies. I cannot find any pellet cooker that cooks a better brisket than the smoke fire. And this is they're not paying me to say that, because I bought my smoke fire. I have not found any pellet cooker that can match the performance.
I'm happy with it.
Fire when it comes to cooking like a brisket. The smoke ring on a Weber smoke fire is as good, if not better, than my Weber Smokey Mountain.
Yeah, since I bought the Smokey
Mountain, that's what I found, and I've done a lot of cooks on it, so I can speak that from actual personal experience. I'm not trying to upsell Weber. In fact, I bought my own smoke fire. They didn't send it to me. I paid for mine, but I'm more of a lazy person. I'm a lazy cook. I don't like to do more than I have to. And the Weber Smokey Mountain, I love them, but it's just a lot of work. Remember, after you finish cooking, you gotta clean the whole thing. You gotta go set it up. With a smoke fire like you, I just go to my phone and I turn it on and it's started up. It's pretty easy.
And the only thing it really relieves you from doing is fire management. You still have to do everything else.
Well, you don't have to, buy charcoal and buy wood. You get pellets and you load it.
But you still have to
spritz the meat. For hours.
You have to look at the meat. I've gotten into the habit of turning the meat. I put it on a stainless steel rack. Then I go and I turn it every half hour, 45 minutes, to try to get it to cook evenly, front to back. And it works out really well. I'm happy with it. I'm 72. Fire management is something I really don't want to be bothered with unless I have a lot of time.
I'll give you a little tip on the Weber Smokey Mountain. I got myself a RecTech, like a RecTech shelf.
Yeah.
And I found out that when I put my RecTech shelf, which is basically about like 3-inch high shelf, it's a shelf with folding legs at the end. It's about maybe 24 inches. When I put the RecTech shelf in there, in the Weber's, with the smoke fire, and I put my brisket on top, it cooks beautifully. So I just want to pass down that tip for you. It doesn't cook so well onto the grate because the problem I have is I put the foil pans underneath the grate between the flavorizer bar and the grate. So what happens is that 3 half pans block the airflow. So the results are not as good as I want because I want perfect championship result. So the way I solved the problem is that I had a little shelf that's about 3-inch high from RecTech. So what I did is I put that shelf on top of my smoke fire grate.
Okay.
And then that creates world-class brisket. Just like that. I should just tell Weber this tip, Yeah, because the airflow was blocked by the pans I use. And I compensated by raising the grate about 3 inches using a RecTech extender grate.
Did you
and
just
now
do
I cook
away
meat
with
on
the
top of
drip
that?
pan altogether?
Absolutely gorgeous.
Did you do away with the drip pan altogether?
I kept my drip pan. I have my foil pan because like you, I don't want the grease to drip onto the base of the smoke fire because that creates a potential grease fire issue.
Oh yeah.
Or you clean it after every cook. And I'm always lazy. Like you say, you clean it after 5 cooks. I don't want to admit it, but I may not clean it after 10 cooks.
That's all right.
The design is flawed because the EX6, right, has the chute of the the pit flowing the oil towards the burn pot. Honestly, if Weber had sent me the unit in pre-production, I would have told them the design is wrong. You have to make the chute go away from the burn pot. The burn pot's in the middle, and then you have the 2 channels flowing the oil into the burn pot. And I thought to myself, why would an engineer design a pit to have the grease flow by gravity
to the fire
towards the burn pot? They should have flowed it away from the burn pot. Yeah. So, c'est la vie. What can you say?
Harry, is that I just linked the RecTech in the chat. Is that the one? That looks beautiful. I mean, it's so versatile.
The RecTech shelf, the shelf that
large interior shelf, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a 3 foot long shelf or something. Yeah, that's the one. So I bought that because that will allow you to have actually bigger capacity on a GMG also. So that fits in my GMG, and then when I threw it onto the Weber, it worked really well because I put the pans underneath the Weber, and that kind of I think interrupts the airflow a little bit. And just as a tip, that rack also is good for cooking a hog. So if you have a small hog, you can put it on the rack.
Nice.
So it's your hog rack. So, RecTech should just give me some commission for recommending their product, even though I have no RecTech smokers. But they do make a good shelf.
Speaking of grease, if you don't mind, as far as tallow goes, is there a way you prepare it, store it, so you always have it on the ready in case you want to use it? Or do you basically render out your tallow every time with the cook with your trimmings?
Tallow can last forever in the freezer.
Okay.
So you can render anytime, anywhere you want, and then put them in the little plastic tubs, and then throw them in the freezer. They'll last, until the nuclear war is over. They'll still, be there. You just take them out from your freezer and then put them in the microwave and a defrost cycle, and then you just thaw them and you pour them onto your meat. I recommend that you try what I discovered is that beef tallow doesn't work.
Okay.
What works is pork fat.
Okay.
Tastes much better. So I've stopped rendering beef tallow. I stopped doing that. I just save all my bacon fat. And that bacon fat on top of the brisket before you wrap, and the bacon fat on top of the butcher paper is amazing.
Huh.
Yeah.
I make smash burgers on a griddle, and I was thinking either pork fat or tallow for oiling it up a little bit just for flavor. But
yeah, cook two burgers, one with tallow and one in pork fat, and you tell me which one your family in a blind taste test will say tastes better. I'm betting that it's pork fat. I didn't believe it until I tried it. So you know me, I don't take anything for granted. I try again and again and again.
Right.
And I try to, say which one works best. In computer science, which is where I'm trained, we have one of the very first seminal courses I had in computer science was learning how to do sorting theory, how to teach a computer how to sort. And the reason I want to mention that to my patrons this morning is because I think that that's a very powerful method for developing technique and products. I'll give you an example. Bubble sort means that you compare A to B. The better one moves forward. And you compare the winner of A and B against C. The winner moves forward. You compare the winner from A, B, C to D. The winner moves forward. So this is how I perfected all my rubs and sauces. Is I do the same computer science bubble sort. It's a bubble sort because it's like a bubble. You take two and you compare, and then the winner moves on. You take two and you compare, and the winner moves on. You take two and the winner moves on. So what is good about that sorting algorithm is that it is very simple to implement, and it keeps your potential only on two things. So if you're writing a computer algorithm, you just tell the computer to say, let's look at value 1 and value 2. The higher value moves forward. Then you add the third value and you compare the result of 1 and 2, and then the winner moves forward. So this way, what happens is you end up bubbling the winner towards the top, towards the end. So if you have, let's say 50 samples you are testing, and you apply the bubble sort, eventually you will bubble the best ones to the head of the pack. Does that make sense, what I just said? So this way of testing things, right, is the same technique that you see me use in my videos. So I may test beef tallow, I may test clarified butter, I may test ghee, I'll test bacon fat, I'll test pork fat, I'll use it against store-bought Wagyu tallow, I'll use it against my own homemade tallow. So what I do is when I test all these things, I compare A, B, the winner moves forward. Against C, against D, against E, against F. So that's kind of how the technique I've used to perfect all my recipes over the years. I use a computer algorithm I learned at Texas Tech back in the 80s.
I know. I wish I cooked as often.
Proud of me.
I wish I cooked as often to be able to run all these tests. That's why I'm here this morning.
Yeah, I may have done the heavy lifting for you. In 30 seconds, I've told you the results of 10,000 hours of trial and error. So tomorrow is a memorial. So I heard somebody's cooking chicken wings, and who else on the call wants to share what they're cooking for tomorrow?
I'm doing a pork butt.
Or what style?
I haven't figured that out yet. My family does not like spicy that much. So I'll cook it in the smoker, in the EX6. Sometimes I don't put anything on it. I wait and season it after I pull it out.
Okay.
But I think I'll make up just a simple rub of some salt and pepper and cook it like that. And then when I take it out, add the vinegar and some more salt and red pepper. And then any kind of barbecue sauce, I'll let whoever wants what put that on.
Okay, I have a suggestion for you. You can impress your family by making a butterfly pork butt.
You have a video on that, don't you?
Yeah. So I'll just kind of describe it super easy. So if you want, get your pork butt, bone in, and you can make 1-inch slices, like slicing it like a steak, but don't slice all the way through because the bone is there. So what
Okay.
you do is you slice it, make 1-inch pork steaks on your pork butt. So your pork butt is like 10 pounds. You make probably like 4 or 5 slices, 1-inch slices on it. And then you spread it apart so that the inside cut area is exposed. Go to Walmart. Go to the food supplement or baking section. Look for freeze-dried fruit powders. Peach is good. Mango is good. Habanero is good. And then bring some of these packets of freeze-dried chips or powder, either in the baking section or in the supplement section of your Walmart. Go home, right? Put that powder into your favorite rub. Salt and pepper is fine, or whatever commercial rub, right? And then add 1/3 of granulated sugar or brown sugar. And take that combination of the brown sugar, your rub, and that fruit powder, mix it together, and then smother it over your butterfly butt, pushing the seasoning in between the layers, and then smoke that puppy in your pit. Your family will go gaga over it. So I've given you a Memorial Day recipe.
I'll try
you can try.
I'll try
Impress your family.
It should be fun. There's a lot of different ways to do a pork butt. I prefer to do it like a Latin style, where you marinate it overnight with lemons and limes and onions, and it comes out really well that way.
Yeah, one of the ways I do is I go to
Tomato juice.
Walmart and I buy the chipotle, like roasted chipotle in a jar.
Yeah.
Yeah, take it home and then just mix it up. Squeeze some juices from like a blood orange in it. Throw a bunch of chopped fresh garlic. Make a little paste like that, and then smother your butt into a red little chile paste and let it sit overnight, and then smoke it in the pit. Get some tortillas, pico de gallo, rock and roll, man. Get some tequila.
May not be able to wait till tomorrow.
Yeah,
That's it. I'm hungry already.
do day 1 today and day 2 tomorrow, so you have a little bit of both, right?
How does that affect cooking time as far as when you slice it open, you're exposing more
It's a lot
surface area to
faster.
cook, right? It's a lot faster.
Yeah, I always
Half
tell
the time?
people that if you have never tried pork steak is delicious.
Yeah. it is.
Everybody
Yeah,
wants
absolutely.
to do kind of like pork butts the traditional way. I honestly enjoy pork steaks. They really taste good, and they have a kind of a texture like kind of more a little bit not so tender, and I really enjoy that what I call churrascaria style texture of pork versus like we usually cook it kind of like shredded and chopped. So if you want to cook a pork butt in an hour, so basically what happens, the pork butt butterfly cooks like a tri-tip.
Wow.
So you don't have to waste 5 hours or spend 5 hours cooking a pork butt. All you need is slice it butterfly style. You don't have to separate it. Just get it open. And what happens, the nice thing about the butterfly technique is that it allows you to put the seasoning in between the layers. And then when you serve to your family, you bring that porcupine pork butterfly thing to the table. And then you have your family members kind of cut their own piece. And that really is a great presentation.
That's great.
For your family, and everybody can, and then I also have done the butterfly where I season it differently. So every butterfly steak is seasoned differently. So I may have one with teriyaki. I may have one with a oregano garlic. And then I have one with a little bit of rosemary. And I have one with barbecue, and I have one Carolina style. So I have like 5 flavors on one butt. So everybody goes like, wow, Harry, that's so creative. You get 5 regions of barbecue on one pork butt served in the middle of the table as the centerpiece.
Do you need any extra guests tomorrow, Harry? I'll bring my family over.
Well, I'll be
sounds
making
wonderful.
the cannonballs tomorrow, so I'll be shooting my YouTube video. So
Can you-
making the onion cannonballs and then the green cabbage cannonball. So I'll be happy to save some for you, and you can swing by and pick up in my igloo. I have an igloo up my front, so all the law enforcement and all. You just swing by and pick up the food in my front of my house. It's all in these 28-ounce meal prep containers already ready to go.
Yeah, I'd love to. I can't wait for the video. That
Okay,
sounds
and then
intriguing.
I'll send you some of the cannonball, leftovers.
Thanks.
Hey, Harry, quick question. For when you butterfly, is it boneless or bone in?
I like to use bone in.
Okay.
The boneless will fall apart. So I have bone in. So basically what you do is you score it all the way down to the bone.
Okay.
and you score it around the pectoralis profundi, which is the money muscle. So essentially, what you get a basically like a slice of steak that's stuck to the collarbone. So on a butt is about maybe 7-8 inches wide. So
Right.
you should be able to get about 5 slices.
Okay.
You can season all 5 the same, or you can season it 5 different ways.
Got it.
Yeah, in fact, actually, I have an idea. I always wanted to do a test of the different kind of chiles. So, you do one steak with guajillo, one with puya, and then you can like see how the chile reacts with the pork. And you have it on one butt. So it's one piece of meat from one animal, where you have 5 chiles on it, and then you can taste the difference in the chile and how it interacts with the flavor of the pork. So yeah, that's a great idea. I should do that as a video, right? How to like get the best chili flavor on your pork. Because when I go to the North Gate, I see all the chiles there. I want to buy them all. Because I think it's fascinating that they have so much flavor. Some are sweet, right? Some are smoky, some are spicy. And I think I love experimenting with different kind of chiles.
That's great.
You just need to live between an H Mart and a Northgate, and then you're in heaven.
Yeah, I do live. I have an H Mart close by, and I do have. Actually, I'm in Diamond Bar. I have 3 or 4 Northgates around me. And there's another one called Churaco. Is it Curaco? Because I live near Pomona, and I know Pomona has quite a few, Hispanic style markets.
Yeah.
And I love to go and find the funky stuff in there. I like to cook pig's feet and pig's ears and pig's snoots, and that's the only place I can find them. You can't find them in Albertsons.
No.
I actually have an invitation to go to Monterey. I met the Mexican team at the Memphis in May. So one of the principals of the team who follows me on YouTube, and he's a big fan of mine. So he invited me to Monterey. So I'm going to Monterey, and he's going to teach me how to cook Mexican style animal heads. So I told him I need my bucket list is to cook a cow head, goat head, and sheep head. So he said, no problemo, Harry. When you come to Monterey, we will teach you how to cook Mexican style animal heads. I thought, wow, what a great opportunity.
Hey, Harry, what about doing like salsas where you smoke the tomatoes on the smoker and then doing some like really unique, salsas with a lot of depth of flavor?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can roast your tomatoes, and in fact, you roast your vegetables, you're going to get much deeper flavor and a little bit of char. The heat when you heat up vegetables, you actually release some of the sugars and you get a little bit of caramelization. Mm-hmm. And definitely you can do a smoked like a tomato salsa.
Right.
You can smoke your pico de gallo. If you've seen some of my videos, I smoke my onions. I grill my onions before I cook them. So definitely anything that you can char, you can smoke, will taste better. You can take your regular jalapeno, just blister them on the grill, and then you make pico de gallo with blistered charred jalapeno. It tastes a lot better.
Thanks.
I gotta go. I got ribs to wrap.
Okay, man, you better get the ribs ready together. So great talking to you. Okay?
Yeah.
And happy Memorial Day to you.
Yeah, you too. Are you going to be at the Norco event next week?
I'm going to try to. I have my friend Jason Linto from Perth. He's flying in, so I told him I'll be his dishwasher, go help him out. So I probably swing by and say hello. I had an event that was scheduled for that weekend in North Dakota, so I'm trying to confirm that it's been canceled. So I'm supposed to do a demo that weekend, so I couldn't go to Brew and Q, but Brew and Q is one of my favorite places to go. Yeah. My friend Debbie Yop is the organizer. So for those of you who are in SoCal and you guys want to go to a great barbecue event, go check out Brew and Q in Norco next Saturday. It's going to be a fun event. And if I have a chance, I'm going to go there and hang with all my buddies.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be judging.
Oh, you'll be judging. Wonderful. Good for you. Maybe I can get a spot judging. I don't know. It's probably too late now, right? It's all full now.
Probably, call Debbie. I'm sure she can have you.
Yeah, I'll go and make a nuisance. I make a nuisance of myself there.
All right, we'll see you guys there.
All right,
take care.
Harry, how do you hear about all of these barbecue festivals, especially in California, Southern California? Is there a site or something?
CBBQA.org. That's the main site. All the events are there. CBBQA.org.
Okay.
California BBQ Association.org. You just go to the website. If you're not a member, you can just join. I think $30 a year. and you help support the local barbecue community. They have all the events there, including the backyards. There's been a lot of backyards, and I always tell people it's good to go to a backyard event. It's much more friendly, and it's an opportunity to learn and to share ideas.
Hey, Harry, what's a really, what would you say the best? I mean, obviously you go over in a lot of your videos, which is really helpful, but is there one go-to that really delivers the goods on developing the best, whether it be the Maillard reaction or the crust? I mean, the real work on it. Obviously you put things in there. Obviously you want the meat to be, dry at first when it's put on the grill, and then maybe misting it and keeping it hydrated, the pellicle and all that. But is there like a really good go-to source for that?
When you say go-to source, you're asking me about a product, or you're asking me about process?
Process, product, maybe both. Is there really a Bible when it comes to achieving the best bark and the best crust and really maximizing that?
It's a factor of process and product. So as I have been teaching, all you need to do is cook until the crust sets. So you need to know how to establish the crust, because if you don't establish the crust, you have no flavor. The crust is basically the thousands of new flavor compounds developing on the surface of your meat. It is technically called the non-enzymatic pyrolysis of amino acids. And that's too much to say. So just remember, I taught you that crust equals flavor. No crust, no flavor. So
Right.
The way you get crust is you need to have something called airflow. Have you heard of something called the draft?
Yes.
So barbecue is best accomplished by having hot, smoky air flowing over the surface of your meat, and your meat has been coated with a good seasoning rub. So that's the basis of barbecue in general. So whether you cook direct, indirect, you cook it ultra low, slow, you cook it low, slow, you cook it hot and fast, or you cook ultra hot and fast. There's innumerable ways to cook barbecue, but you really need to know how to set your crust.
Well, I get that, and I know how to set the crust. I guess one of the things that I'm seeing is traditionally, like a stick burner, for example, seems to produce a deeper layer or a thicker layer of crust. Is that because of the airflow and the way that it's set up for indirect typically? Or, I mean, without just caking on a whole bunch of seasoning and basically cheating a crust to create a natural crust through the actual, is a stick burner going to produce a better crust?
That is a 3-hour argument in Jerry Springer fistfight, and I will respond very simply with this simple response. At the end of the day, Harry Soo has taught you it is always the pitmaster, never the pit. So I have basically been on the front row for the past several years, answering questions on my channel on YouTube. And people out there usually have what we call GAS. GAS stands for Gear Acquisition Syndrome. They can't cook because they have the wrong equipment. They have the wrong pedigree. The equipment isn't expensive enough. The manufacturer is not good enough. At the end of the day, right, it's your skill. So there are people out there, and I'll give you a name, Tutsi Tomanes. All she cooks is a shovel. She can outcook me with a shovel.
Yeah,
And
I guess
it's not about the offset. It's not
Right.
about the equipment. It's at the end of the day, your skill.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to get to that level where I'm already producing a great crust and a great product. I'm very happy with it. I'm just wondering how to beat what I've achieved.
Yeah, all you do is go to a major barbecue contest. Go to anyone around America where all the world champions are there. Look at the smokers used by the top 50 teams. Do you know what you will find?
They're all the Weber 18-inch Smoky Mountain.
They are all over the map, from rotisseries to offsets to drums. So you are chasing after something that can never be found. You're looking for GAS, Gear Acquisition Syndrome. So my suggestion to you is that avoid that. Focus on what you do best. Understand the basics of cooking barbecue. Go to a contest, take your meat to a contest and have 24 strangers eat it.
Okay.
and let them know. Then they'll tell you with no uncertain bias whether your stuff is any good. Because I always tell people, it's easy when you cook for your friends and family and the beer is free and the food is free. Everybody's going to say, wow, that's the best barbecue I ever had in my life. And that's probably true. But if you really want to know how good your barbecue is, the only way to do is go out on a circuit and let 24 strangers beat you up.
Sure.
And the idea is that I want to make sure you're aware is that at the end of the day, when you cook food, the purpose of cooking food is to make sure that you can spread some love in the world. And I always tell people, there's a lot of ways to cook food. So like I'm the guy with 60 brisket videos. So people scold me and say, Harry, why do you show 60 ways to cook brisket? Because there's at least 600 ways to cook brisket. So the more I learn about cooking brisket, the more I learn how little I know. I just came back from cooking 3 days with Goldies in Texas, cooking Tootsie, cooking a lot of people. And I tell you that the beauty about barbecue and the fascination I have about barbecue is that innumerable ways to reach the top of the mountain. Gotcha. So whatever way you can use to reach the top of the mountain, whether you use an offset, whether you use the right offset or the wrong offset, whether it's the Moberg, right? It is a JJ, it is a pit maker. It really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you are the pit master. You need to know how to control your draft, control fire management, control your wood, control your meat, know how to season, know how to draft, know how to wrap, know how to finish the meat so that it's perfect. And that is a lifelong skill that combines the art and science of barbecue. That's why I love barbecue, because it's just so fascinating. It's just so many variables. Like playing golf. If you play golf on Monday, you come back on Tuesday, you play the same exact course. I bet it's not the same game. Absolutely. And barbecue is just like that. Every brisket you cook is a special brisket because there's no brisket that will cook alike.
Yeah.
And that's what the fun is. I just love staying up at night and trying to untangle what's wrong with my brisket.
Right.
So I cooked a few brisket. I really enjoyed that journey, that Zen moment when you hit the pinnacle of perfection and you eat that brisket and it kind of melts in your mouth and all that fat oozes down the side.
I mean, there's no doubt you go to the nth degree in basically testing the variables, like adding, omitting, and changing, which is great to see the differences. I'm just, wondering if there's a summary finding that, adding more humidity in the, and the draft, at certain stages, certain things, are increase your likelihood of a exponentially better result. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, you have you seen my Zoom video on for my Patreons on 10 common brisket mistakes?
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay, yeah, if you just search, I don't know how you search on Patreon because Patreon's not very friendly, but there is, I only released to my Patreon that there's a video. Any other patrons remember that? I did a review on like 10 top brisket errors on my patrons.
I think I have the email that told me about it, so I'll check it out.
Yeah, you can search it there. Yeah, I provided like what I see a lot of brisket mistakes, and there are 10 common brisket mistakes that I outline, and I talk my patrons through how to avoid them. So if that's helpful to you, right? Please go check it out. I don't need. I'm looking at Patreon here, and there's no way to search posts, which is to me kind of sucks, right? Why would they build a system? Because I have like 290 different Patreon posts. And I don't, for the life of me, remember what Zoom session I did where I talked about top 10 brisket errors. But it's here somewhere. I'm sorry, but you may have to scroll and look for it.
Patreon's got a usability issue. They could definitely improve. They should do a top 10.
Yeah, the app sucks on the phone. It sucks on the computer. And these guys, I know they have a good product, but they don't spend a lot of money on their programming and R&D. Because it's impossible to find stuff. Sometimes I post stuff on Patreon. I can't find my own posts. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't see it. And then there's no way to scroll down because when you scroll, it stops. And there's no search feature here. So there's like 300 posts on Patreon that I probably have to scroll through manually to find the one. But there is one on like top 10 brisket errors. And if you guys like topics, just send me a request here. You wanted me to talk about something. I'd be more than happy to handle that. I mean, like right now, I'm going to be shooting the one on the cannonballs because one of my patrons, he's fascinated by cannonball food. So I thought, why not?
I think it was May 26th.
Well, May 26th. Okay. Of this year or last year?
2021.
2021. Okay. What is the
It
title?
was
saying?
discuss. It was Zoom number 14. It was Brisket Clinic. Discuss 20 potential mistakes. Is that it?
Oh yeah. Okay. 20 is a good place to start.
Thanks, Harry.
Yeah. So go take a look at that. And if you have any questions, just reach out to me. I'm happy to address your question. A brisket is a complicated cook because people think it's really easy. You just throw meat on fire. Barbecue is not easy. I can tell you, I have professional chefs from the Gordon Bleu, Disneyland. They come to class, and I always tell them, you're learning from a quack. I am totally unqualified to teach you how to cook food because I have no formal training. I didn't go to culinary school. I don't have a degree in training. I build data centers for a living, but for some reason, because I've won many awards, I've been interested in the science and the art of barbecue, and I've been able to prove that the techniques that I am using, they actually work. They actually win over 24 strangers at a contest. To me, that is the acid test. We all can say we cook good food. We all can say that we make great barbecue, but at the end of the day, right, the proof is in the double-blind judging process that a lot of my recipes and a lot of my products have gone through. All right, does anybody have any more questions? I didn't want to keep you guys for too long.
Yeah, I got to run.
This over an hour. Anyone have any other burning questions you need to answer, or any ideas you need from me to make tomorrow or today a fabulous day? We talked a whole bunch of topics from all the way from birria to tamales to roasted jalapenos to butterfly pork butts. So any final ideas and any discussion before we conclude?
Have you done elote?
I have done elote. There's a video out there. I did 3 kinds of different elotes. I think the best ones was the one with the fire red hot. What do you call the red hot?
Oh yeah, the Cheetos.
Cheetos, yeah, red hot Cheetos. Yes, Duh. That was the best one. So I did. If you Google my YouTube, you look for elote. I did a elote one. Because I really enjoy street corn. In fact, that's a great idea for tomorrow. Is for Memorial Day, do some street corn.
Totally.
And I think I saw Walmart, right? Corn is on in season now, right? So like 42 cents each one. So get a few of those and slash that with your favorite cheese and what do you call mayo, and add some cracked chips. That will be fun. Smoke some potato chips and then crumble it onto your corn.
Maybe a banana bread on the grill would be good too.
Yeah, if you have any ripe bananas. In fact, my son he always leaves these bananas in my kitchen, right? They attract the flies because
Right.
he likes to make those bodybuilding smoothies. And he buys a big bunch of bananas, and then he leaves it for work, and then he leaves the bananas in my kitchen. And I noticed that the little bugs are flying around the bananas.
Yeah.
So I should just chop them all up and throw them into the banana bread. And make a smoked banana bread. How cool is that? Right, make it on the pit.
Oh yeah, it'd be really good.
Right. Now, flour, sugar, eggs, a little bit oil, and banana, a little bit of baking powder, baking soda.
Yeah.
Rock and roll, man.
Applesauce instead of the oil. Healthy banana bread. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Another one to add.
Thanks, Harry.
All right, guys. So let's conclude here. We want to keep you guys too long. So everybody have a wonderful and safe Memorial weekend. Cook some barbecue, and then if you can, please send me your pictures. I always look forward to seeing what you guys are all doing.
Okay. Have a good one.
Thank you, Harry.
Take care, guys.
You too.
You guys
Bye-bye.
soon. Bye.
Have a good morning, Harry.
All right, you too.